The other side.
Ooh, Lux Plebe, I'm a landowner. Come join me, other side. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So the other side, everyone's heard about it, I feel like, for the most part.
The other side. Well, if you haven't heard about it because you live under a rock in NFT world, it is the Land for the Bored Ape Yacht Club metaverse.
Yes. So the Mint happened this past weekend. Gas wars, people upset, a lot of things. We're not going to really cover that. You can go to Twitter if you want to check that out. Today, I did want to get more into the other side because we know a bit more information. So the other side, it is Yuga Labs gamified interoperable metaverse that Lux Plebe noted already supports Bored Ape Yacht Club. So basically, players own your world, your NFTs become playable characters, and thousands can play together in real time. This is the website, the initial trailer that we showed in our last video. And basically, this is an ever-evolving experience that is co-created with the players. And so players are bored apes, mutant apes, and then those who were able to actually mint as well. So we'd already talked, it's immersive. These are different sorts of, I call them cards, but they're actual deeds themselves. Right. So what does the actual deed get you? We have a little bit of a breakdown of what holder type you are and what sort of access that you get or benefits or how many. And basically what this deed allows you to do is actually participate in the prototype builds. This is still under development. It's pretty cool that you can actually have a say in what that final game design and experience is going to be like. So the other deed enables you to a plot of land. There's a bunch of different varieties of land based on different attributes that we'll talk about. And this weekend, 100,000 were released and all of them minted out within the same night. There are still 100,000 other deeds that have yet to be given out. And what's really cool about this, so for holders of the Bored Ape, Mutant Ape, Kennel Club, and then CryptoPunks, your NFTs will actually work with a 3D model. So you'll be given an other side ready 3D model that you can use as a playable character. And I guess Meebits are coming. And I would also assume based on this carousel that World of Women will be supported. But I hadn't really read anything about that.
Yeah, I think I've seen this before, that all these other NFT projects called out, and I want to know more about what to expect with that. If they're all just going to be in the other side. I'm guessing that's their aim, is to make this a collaborative NFT space that just started with Bored Ape.
I think so. And it's interesting that you brought that up. So another project that I'm a part of called Not Your Bro, which I don't think we've talked about. I probably will at some point. I just love the artwork. It's PFP, but they did mint 2 other deeds. They're going to use it to build out land for their community within the other side. So I think that's really cool. Projects that aren't a part of it, out the gate are definitely investing and trying to get in, which leads me to the next kind of thing that you're getting with an other deed is an SDK. So I am pumped about this, just having worked in software. So anybody else, if you have access to this SDK, can create and import your own character to use in this metaverse. So a few other things about this SDK. And just FYI, Lux Plebe, I did go so far as to attempt to sign up for the SDK. I don't know what requirements it takes, but I got some sort of like weird error. So I don't know if it actually went through. But I feel like viewer, if you don't know, Lux Plebe has heavy chops in UI UX and has some development skill set. And I am heavy in the product management, like product development world. So I feel like between the two of us, we could be just dangerous enough. I think it's a really cool offering for additional creators that you can make things for the other side and sell it in the game's marketplace. So you can create your own characters, outfits, tools, structures, and even games. So I think the opportunity here is really limitless, which is why people are seeing so much value in the other deeds, aside from the fact that it is coming from the Bored Ape, ecosystem, if you will. So I'll link all the sites below, but this is just otherside.xyz. And then if we go into the actual world itself, we learn about what these deeds will actually get you. So this is an example of what the deed looks like. This is what a deed looks like. And you can see there's a bunch of information kind of peppered all around here. And so we'll go through what these different sort of attributes mean. So the very first thing are the fact that there are 5 sediments that we see on the screen here. And so the outermost tier is tier 1, and that is the furthest away from the center and what people are assuming is going to be more valuable areas. And so it is infinite expanse built on top of sludge. So each of these are part of a galaxy, and then they also have like a sediment. And so the sediment here is sludge. Then we have the cosmic dream and bog. So the closest to center is the biogenic swamp, and it's crimson, and it's tier 5. So that's the most sort of like valuable, I guess, if you're looking at the tiers of the different sorts of galaxy sediment.
So the closer to the center basically is
you get the higher
tier,
which people value more. Yep. So then we move into these guys. All right. So these are the codas. Before the release this past weekend, everyone knew that there was a term coda, that it was going to be a new something, but people didn't know what it was. Tons of speculation, of course. So a coda is a new character. And there are 2 types of codas that were released this past weekend. There's the coda, and then there's the mega coda. Any land deed that has a coda is already going for a higher value than a deed that doesn't. Mm-hmm. And a deed that has a mega coda is definitely going for a higher value than just a coda. I'm not really sure what these guys will do in terms of benefiting you in gameplay in the future, but they're really cute, they're really cool, and they're highly valued, and I did not get one. So I'm not too salty about it. I mean, I was able to get, 3 deeds, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it's true. It's more than this plebe has, so you're doing good.
You can visit me on my lands. It's fine. You got an invite.
Thanks. I really appreciate it.
So then there are different natural materials. Again, I don't know like which ones to collect and how this will benefit me in the future. It's just something that you want to have. And then we move into the different sorts of treasures and tools. And so these are different artifacts and resources that you have the ability to get. And okay, and so they're calling them dynamic NFTs. And this is kind of all of the different components that we just talked through. They have an icon and a border based on which tier they're in. Here's the name of the land and the sediment. So this little icon up here would change. And then we have the different rarities. So the land rarity is, I guess, tiers 1 through 5. And then the other tier rarities for resources are only 1 through 3. And then if you have a coda, there is a section here that gives you a coda number that'll denote if you have it or not. So that's kind of just the general of what we know from this weekend and all the additional information that's been released. And so then if we actually go into like the other side itself, and so this URL, the end of it is explore. It's a map that is really zoomed out when you first land, and then you can click around and you can select different deeds. So I pulled up one of my deeds. This is probably one of the better ones that I have, just because it's a tier 3. And the other thing that I think makes this fairly valuable is that I do have an artifact, and it's a Marson. And the Marson seems like it's a pretty valuable trait. Only 0.09% deeds actually have it. Aside from that, there's nothing else that's in here that's too rare. And most of my deeds that I'd gotten are way out there. So I'm a tier 3. I can view it on OpenSea. And then I can see the properties within it as well. And so
if I zoom out of this, beachfront?
Yes, this is my beachfront. This is where I'm located.
Beachfront.
And then if I zoom out, you can see that I am on the outer rim here. This is center.
Wow, that is huge.
So here is plot 0. Let's see what it's got. So it does have a coda. No artifact. It's got some decent resources, and it's a tier 4. So I'd say that this is, decently valuable, but there's no guarantee that if you were a mutant or a Bored Ape that you were getting a coda. It seems like everything is for the most part pretty randomized, but there's some real cool. So like this thing is number 21 closest center, but it's a tier 2. They're definitely selling on secondary. The floor price has been all over the place. I've gotten offers upwards of like 9 ETH before they were revealed, and I'm sitting on all of mine. Right now the floor is 3.58, but they certainly can vary upwards of over 100. I think the top sales are going over 100
on
these.
what's
Exactly.
on there. And so you wouldn't want to blindly buy one of these. It's worth doing some research. Well, I mean, this video is research, what we've told you about you know what everything means in the deed before
And
you go buy one of these.
You can even see too, Lux Plead, from when we tried to talk about this over the weekend, that they've built out better filters on the codas. So we can go ahead and take a look, and we can go and find there's 95 mega codas. But anyway, so there's a good way to filter out the megas. I think if you're trying to get a mega, they're probably all listed over 100 if I had to guess. Yeah. I mean, this sorted low to high, and it's at 188. But yeah, there's another thing that you can do if you're still trying to kind of ape in, is if you have the funds, so you could just go buy a deed on secondary, or you can go ahead and you can buy a Bored Ape or a mutant ape, and you can check to see if they've actually claimed their other deed for that PFP. So you just type in the number here and you can check, and it'll tell you whether or not it has a claim available. So another route if you're looking to procure. But that is what's going on with other deeds.
There were a lot of feels on Twitter. Everybody was in their feels.
And I also feel like that you knew, like you obviously knew what time everything was going down, and I didn't hear from you at all until like a few hours later, and you're like, how did it go? It was so smart because I put my paper just chill about it. So
like cool. It was stressful. Yeah. And also I just want to say that I think Yuga Labs wrote that they were, you know, kind of like a little soft apology for the gas war. But I do think it could have been avoided. I mean, I earlier that day, I had written a tweet on our Probably Degens Twitter, just being like, good luck in the Hunger Games today for, you know, the other side deeds. And like, I saw it coming.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they're claiming that they didn't see that coming. I'm like, did you really though not see it coming?
Well, cool. Well, if you guys have any thoughts on the other deeds, we'd love to hear it. Any other projects you want to discuss? And I promise for the time being, we're done talking about the Bored Ape Yacht Club and other deeds. So let us know what you guys think, and certainly be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.